Hello there. Good morning, YouTubers residing in or on the eastern hemisphere, planet Earth. So it's the 4th of October, year 2024, AC. I reckon someone, some viewers of mine requested that I, do another live stream. And on top of that, besides, I imagine I have something to say about, something to comment about and say about um, npcs, social indoctrination and programming, and how critical nowadays have become. And I also like to I won't say I teach you guys to do certain things, but I'd say also like to mention several ways or several approaches to not give a fuck, to not give a rat's ass about things that don't really matter, such as receiving hateful or malicious comments on your replies or on your videos, or on videos or contents you post anywhere outside YouTube, and blah blah blah, etc. So yeah, unfortunately, we are living in the end times, as the Bible has foretold. Well, still, even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't read the Bible, you should have by you should have by this time, you know at the moment, you should by now come to a realization that something has gone terribly wrong with the world, with with the realm, the space time we are forced to live in and endure and suffer with. Um, More often than not, our goodwill, our hard work, with some say, altruistic intents, don't often get reciprocated or paid off. And you should have realized that, you know you shouldn't, marvel at such phenomenon, by now. It's just, unfortunately, each and every man has to adapt to it, and has to come to terms with betrayal, with disappointments and frustrations. But you shouldn't, be you shouldn't dwell on it, or get your quads in a twist, but instead, like far from weeks, like far from weak, always always says, just act as if nothing, absolutely nothing bothers you. Be stoic. Though I'm not saying that you shouldn't complain or whinge or mourn, but you should only do so in front of your fellow brothers. In front of other men who can relate to you, and who can and who um actually show sympathy and um, apathy towards you. And lots of other men. Well, I have to admit, sometimes, or I should say, a lot of times, even in myself, can speak, can speak in a mean and in a mean and vicious way, acting as if you know they and sometimes including me can act like we know everything about um, anything, and so on and so blah 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 blah. People are just self-righteous, and slash narcissistic. But don't let it bother you. Keep doing you. Keep being you. Welcome to the live stream, and welcome to my channel, Franco. The world is hypocritical. Sadly, people just care about them. Well, more often than not, people tend to believe that they actually care about themselves. They know they tend to have the um, misconception that they know their own best interest at heart, and as a result, they act mean and malicious. But in fact, they don't. They are just they are merely doing nothing but exhibiting more and more self-destructive, self-sabotaging behaviors, and they trend those patterns of behaviors and mindsets to others, and without them even being aware. So um so in other words, you know things we do, and the actions we take, and the words we spit out from our mouths, they carry power. They can either they can either construct or destruct. It's a double-edged sword. So yeah, the world is hypocritical. Yeah, it is. But don't let it bother you. Also, on the other hand, the funny part is normie want to deny death. Yes, unfortunately, yes, just take refer to Uncle Grimhart um has said. Refer to what he has said before, in one or a few of his videos. Regard death as your friend. Do not try to resist or oppose death. When your time comes, embrace death. Um, though I'm not telling you to commit suicide, or end your life prematurely before your time. No, That's not what I am saying here. Make Treat death as your friend, and death. When your time comes, death becomes your saving grace. You will not have to worry about survival, about paying bills, about um, you know, about eating, defecating, sneezing, urinating, breathing, blah blah blah. You will, the when your time comes, when when your time comes, your spirit and soul will get unshackled from this rotten and wicked and vile sack of meat, and depart from this um you know entity, this vile and filthy sack of meat, to everlasting peace. Very true. If some people were born to suffer and fail, yeah, because the system it's rigged against those without power, without um, the guts, the bravery, the courage to endure and undergo the pain and afflictions necessary to achieve class mobility, that sort of thing. I'm not sure if I used the right um, um, terminology to describe such concept. You know, that says, yes, they are on the internet. Well, in particular on popular social media platforms such as YouTube. Well, or I should say, you may likely come across or run into a bunch of people who claim to believe in black pill, in facts and truths, you know and manage to have embrace this harsh, hostile, unforgiving reality. But um as a matter of fact, they refuse, to help themselves. They refuse to at least give it a try to stop being pathetic. And um when you try to whenever you try to talk them out of it, they act hostile and malicious and vicious um, to you. Though, yeah, just like that, like I said before, on YouTube, withhold learn when to withhold your kindness and sympathy for certain people, since number one, they don't deserve it. Number two, even if even if you try your utmost best to force them to do certain things that may benefit them, say, in the long term, they will not learn to appreciate your your hard work to try to to try to you know show them some goodwill, be their friends, and blah blah blah. That's though that does not necessarily suggest that you treat them as your enemies. No, like your families or some close friends, who oftentimes criticize, even mock at your ambitions and dreams, and do do everything they can to hold you back. you know just keep your distance from them. You can still love them, but from a distance. You don't have to live with them, or or get close to them. You can still do your own thing, go your own way, and in the meantime, keep maintain your your social distance away from them. Life is 50-50. Life is 50-50, as we do love black girl moments more than women. um I'd say, during time, while as men, we once we get horny, that's when our um, passion overwhelms our reason and you know sanity. We don't tend to think that way, but once the passion fades away after after the old, yes, then we start to realize that yeah, we do love black people moments more than women. But well, um in my case, my life isn't really 50-50. I'd say currently maybe 10 to 90. Yeah, 10, no more than that says no more than a mere 10% of pleasure, and the rest 90% consists mainly of misery and afflictions and suffering. Well, at least since my old man, my old man and my grandma kicked their 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 buckets respectively in year 2019 and late year 2022. Unfortunately, most, if not all, npcs failed to come to a realization and recognition of a simple fact that the more we learn, or I should say, the more the more we try to learn, the more we try to get to know about ourselves, about the world, and about our surroundings, and about how things tend to work. The more the more the more helpless and confused we to get. you know you know the more we try to know, the more we try to learn, the more we try to get to know about the things we want to 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 understand so badly. You know the the deeper we slide into solipsism that says, um, you know please allow me to allude to the notion, to a famous saying from a French philosopher. Yeah, I think, therefore I am. There's only one thing that we can have absolute certainty of, which is that only ourselves are known by ourselves to truly exist. Having some ignorance is to just to keep our minds a bit more sane. Yeah. So yeah, I think, therefore I am. Yeah, and well, speaking of speaking of business and entrepreneurship and money wise, still, I'm still kind of struggling. Though, I suppose I have managed to gather more courage and confidence to make my departure to Japan soon. It's good to study some things, but in life we got to live out things then die. Yeah, more or less. I concur to such saying, more or less. Yeah. So the next steps I will be I imagine I will be taking is to fill in the form and take some pictures, take some some, yes, some pictures of myself after I give my after I give myself a haircut. Yeah, and soon I will be seeing my I will be paying a visit to my grandpa anyway. So either way, I will have to have a haircut. Um, Japan will be great. Yeah, it's great for sightseeing and derping around. Well, every place has both its upsides and downsides. Um, yeah, it's just act as if nothing bothers you, since you don't want to let your enemies know about your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. And bear in, bear bear in mind bear in mind bear bear in mind that as a man you will not get any sympathy or pity from the world, particularly nowadays harsh and hostile world. Well, most likely, you know, it's just just do a quick search on YouTube about invisible people, and you will begin to see that such thing holds especially true, even less from women. Well, do not do not believe for a second that women will pity you. But the exceptions are that when they stand to benefit, when they stand to profit from from showing you pity, then it's a completely different story. Um, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I before my departure, I will have a lot of items to buy, such as some um some self heating rice, self heating bento boxes, plus some rations, bi- biscuits that can sit in shelf for several years without decaying. I since e- I do anticipate to I do anticipate to wander far away from my grandma's flat in another in another country, even in another continent for at least 3 to 6 months. Yeah, and yeah, still, it's just that it makes me kind of frustrated that I failed, to reach my goal of saving money. Yeah, though I tried my utmost best to delay spending as much money as I could during this year's September, and I won't say that I take pride in managing to survive September without overspending, but it does it it does life did kicked did kick me in my freaking sorry ass. Screw it, money will come and go. Yeah, you're right. But nowadays, money comes not so easily. And to make the matters worse, even if to make the matters worse, the more money you save, the more financial losses you will tend to suffer due to the rapid depreciation of dollars, of pretty much each and every currency associated with American dollars, including, but are not limited to, say, to pounds and sterlings, you know um you know um Australian dollars and Canadian dollars, so on and so forth. But I can't say for certain about how how Swiss franc works, during times of major financial depression or crisis. Since I've never been to Switzerland, and I've touched Swiss um, currency with my own hands, so I can't really tell or say much about how Swiss franc works. Though it's yes, it is quite commonly considered a strong currency and a rather stable, a stable and safe currency, for you, to manage and accumulate your life savings, in the long term, in long term. Yeah, I do. Same. Life has beat me up. The good part is Japan has more aid if you are homeless, struggling. Well, that's such such assistance only targets Japanese citizens. I'm not a Japanese citizen now, unfortunately. But don't worry, I won't become homeless in Japan. Um, though I can't say that I won't struggle in Japan. However, since I am going there, alone. But yes, currently, yeah, thanks to the depreciating value of Japanese yen, as a foreigner, you do kind of get some perks when you when you make purchases of certain items, say cosmetics or consumer electronics. And yes, food in Japan does kick ass, and it's highly nutritious, highly tasty, highly cost effective. That I fully agree with. Government aid in the USA is horrible. I've been hungry before. I heard that you can go get some food stamps in the states, if I am not mistaken. Back in Australia, we also have food stamps, but I haven't been there for nearly a decade, so I can't be 100% sure. Well, I can donate food to you if you are in d- desperate need. I can have some biscuits shipped your way in case of need. Though I won't recommend that you eat biscuits as your main meal for too long, since you know it's not that nutritious, and it doesn't taste that good. It doesn't taste as good as a proper, it doesn't taste nearly remotely as good as a proper meal. But it does come in, it handy when you get so broke that you can't afford to buy even um, take away food. Yes, yes, um, rations. Well, dehydrated biscuits rations saved my life more than once. Yeah, good to see you live. Yokoso. Kyomushugi-san. 最近の具合はいかが？日本語 ししししししし日本語喋れますか？ Yes, I'm good. Yes, good to see you. Good to see you too. Likewise. You don't seem to speak um, Japanese, no? Or maybe I just, maybe I just misjudged. Yeah, it's pardon. もしかして時価は関西出身 No? Are you from the Kansai region? Enough to hold conversation. Okay, fair enough. Yes, well, since my channel mainly mainly aims at English speaking audiences. So I will still here for the most for the vast majority of time speak English here. Yeah. So yeah, I beg your pardon. But yeah, it's yes, I don't really have I don't really have a lot of opportunities to practice Japanese here in China since here in China there are plenty of folks who have who hold deep grudges against Japanese people. So be take extra amount of care when you pay visit to China. But that doesn't mean that Chinese don't like J- um, Japanese. Not necessarily. Um, as you can see, I am currently drinking a Japanese-made black sugarless, you know, Japanese-made black coffee. Yeah, I am a big fan of it. It's highly. It proves highly effective in boosting your level of motivation and focus. Yeah, but since yes, um, if you are looking for more, if you are trying to sort out your retirement plans as an American, why not try to relocate to Canada? I heard that well, at least in Canada, you will receive free healthcare, free medical care, unlike the states. Well, in a rather fashion to what you will get in Australia. What's a good place to visit in China? Yeah, Shanghai or um, Shanghai and Guangzhou and the southern part. I wouldn't recommend that you visit the northern part since the weather often gets quite nasty and filthy, and the level of humidity often remains dry and highly arid and hostile, and and food in northern part of in the northern part may not suit you. Your body may you know may do some may react quite violently to the food you ingest in the northern part of China, since it's not that you know I would say it's not that food here, it doesn't taste so refined or elegant, to say the least. How much are hotels to stay at? Less than, well, if you stay at, say, a 3 star, 3 star, 2 star hotel, it just costs around, say, $10. Yeah, 10 USD in in second tier cities, but in first tier cities like Shanghai, Beijing, it will cost around double or triple. But you can, why not stay, why not spend your time as a tourist in Japan, roughly at the same price, and you will get better food. At least you will get you will bask under much gentler, much um, friendlier sunlight and vibe. Yeah, it's yeah, Kanzen. Yeah, Japan does seem better. Well, I assume you haven't traveled to the eastern hemisphere, to Asia yet, Franco. No. Ah, GB. I only been to Mexico in USA. Well, you should you should travel more, to more places, more countries. It will broaden your horizon, to say the least. I hate New Jersey. Welcome to the live stream and welcome to my channel. What do you think? What 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 do you think of the Russian Far East? Yes, I do plan to visit Lake. I do plan to visit Lake Baikal, maybe next winter, or maybe even this winter. See if I can find a work around the sanctions um, imposed against imposed against Russia. Well, since I only have, a master debit card and a Visa debit card. I fear they won't work in. I fear they won't even work within Russia. Due to the currently ongoing sanctions. Unfortunately, yes, Lake Baikal. I well, I imagine some sceneries, some views, some landscape elements are based on views, um, taken from from Lake Baikal or its surrounding regions during winter. In a video game called Dragon Age Inquisition. Arbitrary, how are you, Francis? I am still in One Piece. Thank God and thanks be to you guys as well. So you are single? Yes, I am. I consider myself a MGTOW, by the way. Um, I only miss the Mexican food, but I'm open to other foods. Yeah, you should definitely try ramen, but particularly um particularly Fukuoka ramen. Whenever you have a chance to pay a visit to Japan, try Fukuoka ramen. Yeah, you mustn't miss that. But yeah, as for the my plan to visit Lake Baikal in Russia during winter, I haven't really given much thoughts about it yet. Though I did searched the interweb and had a look at some of had a look at how much it would cost to stay at the surrounding the hotels surround or near Lake Baikal. I'll try it and the many spicy ramens. Yeah, kudos. Yeah. I assume later my my adopted mom slash one of my aunts will come to visit me again and cook me some lunch. Yeah, but that don't but fear I will not end this stream just yet for that. Yeah, so I'll try to remain in the stream for more for longer and while I gather my thoughts and on things on topics to to talk about. So may I ask教務主義さん、一つの質問を聞いてもよろしいでしょうかな。どこで、私の、YouTube、YouTube、YouTube が、oops, Russia it's a bit risky with the war politics. Well, it's not that dangerous, no. Unless you go to the borders with Ukraine and Belarus. So Kyomushugi-san, もしもし、聞こえますか？ Kyomushugi-san. Let me type. Kyomushugi-san. 聞こえ Kikoelu. Kikoelu? Kyomushigi-san. No? Never mind. Yeah. The altitude in Russia ain't good over the losing military. Well, in fact, YouTube is not particularly a good place to bring up this kind of discussion. But I will still give you a bit of how I perceive the war between the two states. It's basically well, you know it's many people died in vain, died for nothing. You support Ukraine, okay, that's your business. I you know I have nothing against you, even if you say that you support Ukraine. In fact, I feel sympathetic for both, since whatever whenever slave masters decide to go to wars, whenever they wage wars against one another, it's always us 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 the commoners end up paying the price, not the slave masters. No, we as non-slave masters slash commoners slash ordinary folks pay the price. Yeah. So still, I still find it quite. I still find myself quite curious as to how my channel managed to attract some Japanese viewers, since I don't really speak Japanese that often on my channel. Yes, although yes, still yes, I passed JLPT level in two. I failed to I failed in one a couple of times. Maybe I will try to pass in one whenever another 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 chance. It needs to end before a nuclear fight. Yeah, that I agree. But do you know that? Do you know that quite a lot of Americans have relocated themselves to to Russia, since it costs much less to live in Russia, even in large metropolis, even in large metropolitan regions like um Moscow and Saint Petersburg. And in Russia, you won't get bothered by woke culture, LGBT propaganda, and feminism is basically, still I won't say in Russia you won't find feminists at all, but it's Russia, um not just Russia, but Eastern European countries slash Slavic Slavic um, countries like Russia, Belarus, or Bulgaria, treat men a lot better, than the Western world, don't they? Don't they? No. Well, based on what I can observe and see on YouTube, you know, a large wave, a large flow of American folks, and even Aussie folks are flooding to Russia, to Belarus. Yeah. So yeah, just whenever you can thrive in a place, that place spells a good place. In your case, don't get indoctrinated by propagandas. Not just this applies everywhere on planet Earth. Whenever and wherever there are humans, expect troubles, expect indoctrination, expect propaganda. No matter where you go, or no matter where you choose to go, no matter where you choose to visit, no matter where you choose to invest your money, your life savings on. Just bear in mind to keep your mind clear. Don't never hate your enemies. It affects your judgment. It affects your judgment. Yeah. Never hate your enemies. I know it's a hard thing to do. Nevertheless, as men, we must side with truths and facts. Unlike women, unlike um, red pilled, unlike unlike I oh well I beg your pardon. I meant to say unlike blue pilled NPCs and drones. We must side. We must stand with truths and facts. Yeah. So yeah. Do you guys have any other um do you guys have any other quick questions to to ask? Else, yes, I suppose I have talked enough, and you should. I hate New Jersey. You should do a vid on transmaxing. I support transmaxing, but want to hear your thoughts. I I suppose doing that kind of a video could put my channel in jeopardy. I don't plan to throw that I don't really plan to throw an amount of fire that much onto LGBT folks. I have I believe I have elaborated my stance, my stance on such topic already for quite numerous times. If well, in case you happen to to get to get turned on by by other men as a man, and you mind your own business, well, I have no problem. But please do not impose your your ideology on me, and please do not impose your ideology on us straight men by infiltrating into our favorite video games like Mass Effect trilogy and Dragon Age Inquisition, blah blah blah. Just mind your own business. If you happen to have a non-binary or a non-heterosexual um orientation, then and you mind your own business, I have no problem. Yeah. And but if you do, you know if you do invade my space, then then I'll hurt you. Yeah. And don't blame me for hurting you, because you impose your propaganda onto us straight men. Long long story short, you pick a fight, will hurt you. If in case others attack, in case others attack or bully you, it's okay. It's totally okay to defend yourself. Yeah. I believe I have made it. I believe I can't make it any more clearer than that. You know. Yeah. So yeah, and this um doesn't exclusively apply to to men. It can also apply to women. Just even as, yeah, as MGTOW men, more or less, we all need some time, solitude. Um, yeah. So just know when to speak up, know when to shut up, and do your work, and keep your head down. Live, or stay off the radar when you have to, if needs be. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and yeah, and thank you very much for tuning in. Um, God, yeah, and yeah, in case if God's still willing, until next time. Yeah, thank you very much again for tuning in, and engaging with one another, and me. Yeah, with some quite meaningful conversations. Yeah, great. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, thank you again for for listening to my rant and vent. Yeah, take care, stay safe. If God's still willing, until next time. Cheers. Bye.